Pathfinders were a group of volunteers selected within the US airborne units who were specially trained to operate navigation aids to guide the main airborne body to the drop zones. The Pathfinder teams were made up of a group of 8 to 12 Pathfinders and a group of 6 bodyguards whose job was to defend the Pathfinders while they set up their equipment. The teams dropped approximately 30 minutes before the main body in order to locate designated drop zones and provide radio and visual guides for the main force in order to improve the accuracy of the jump. These navigational aids included compass beacons, colored panels, and colored smoke. According to the tactical doctrine, once the main body jumped, the Pathfinders joined their original units and fought as standard airborne infantry. But within the ranks of the Pathfinders, a subunit attained legendary status, its reputation persisting among veterans over the decades. The Filthy 13 was the name given to the 1st Demolition Section of the Regimental Headquarters Company of the 506th Parachute Infantry Regiment, 101st Airborne Division of the US Army. The 1st Demolition Section was assigned and trained as saboteurs to destroy enemy targets deep behind the lines. The unit had a tremendous mission focus, but their blatant disregard for those aspects of military discipline that did not contribute to the mission became the bane of their officers. The unit was led by James Albert Jake McNeese. McNeese's demolition experience with the fire department before the war made him the section sergeant, and his mission focus kept him in the rank in spite of his deliberate disobedience and disrespect during training. His unit acquired the nickname the Filthy 13 while living in huts in England. The demolition section consisted of 13 enlisted men, and they refused to bath during the week in order to use their water ration for cooking game poached from the neighboring manor. Just prior to the invasion of Normandy, a Stars and Stripes photographer caught US paratroopers with heads shaved into Native American-style mohawks, applying war paint to their faces. The idea came from McNeese to honor his Native American heritage and to energize the men for the danger ahead. During the Normandy invasion in Europe in June of 1944, the group was dropped with the 3rd Battalion, 506th Parachute Infantry Regiment. They were ordered to secure or destroy the bridges over the Dove River. Half were killed, wounded, or captured on the jump, but the rest, led by McNeese, accomplished their mission. During Operation Market Garden, the demolition platoon was assigned to defend the bridges over a river in Eindhoven, the Netherlands. German bombing of the city killed or wounded half of the demolition men, and McNeese was promoted to platoon sergeant of what was left. For the rest of the campaign, the demolition men secured the regimental command post or protected wire-laying details. After Market Garden, McNeese returned to the Pathfinder, thinking that he would never make another combat jump. Half the surviving members of the original Filthy 13 followed him. To their surprise, they parachuted into the encircled town of Bastogne at the height of the Battle of the Bulge. Anticipating casualties as high as 90%, the 20 Pathfinders lost only 1 man. Their beacon enabled them to guide in subsequent airdrops of supplies crucial to the continued resistance of the trapped Airborne Division. McNeice considered that any activities not directly concerned with his mission were irrelevant, an attitude that got him in constant trouble with the military authorities. Nevertheless, McNeice finished the war as the acting first sergeant and with 4 combat jumps, a very rare feat for an American paratrooper. Of the activities of the Filthy 13, one paratrooper later said, "We weren't murderers or anything, we just didn't do everything we were supposed to do in some ways and did a whole lot more than they wanted us to do in other ways. We were always in trouble." Filthy 13 grew notorious even within the ranks of the elite 101st. Never once to salute an officer or take a bath, this squad became singular within the Screaming Eagles for its hard drinking and savage fighting skills. This unit was the inspiration for the 1965 book and 1967 film The Dirty Dozen. In 1965, Irving Nathanson wrote the war novel The Dirty Dozen, a story about 12 servicemen convicted of robbery, murder, and rape who are sent on a suicide mission to blow up a castle of German generals just before D-Day with the promise of commuted sentences to those who survive. The novel was inspired by a supposedly true story of the World War II criminal soldiers who got the nickname the Dirty Dozen for their refusal to bath and who were said to have been sent off on similar missions. Nathanson heard the story from his friend, who said he learned of the tale while working as a combat photographer during World War II. Although Nathanson researched in vain for 2 years to verify the story's accuracy, he still received a contract for a book. He and his editor fictionalized the story. The best-selling novel sold more than 2 million copies and was translated into 10 languages. In 1967, it was adapted to a film directed by Robert Aldrich and starring Lee Marvin. The film was a box office success and won the Academy Award for Best Sound Editing in 1968.